Perfect.
Yeah, Christina's been a long-time participant in our coaches' development. She kind of just put it up there to be like, hey guys, check this out. And I was like, I'm taking that. And by the way, I'm going to give you feedback live for the world to watch. And you didn't, zero hesitation, right, Christina?
Yeah.
Complete at least the round of 9, which is pretty doable, especially if we're scaling accordingly.
3-6-9, climbing by threes.
Yep.
For 9 minutes. Mm-hmm. Handstand push-ups, and what was it? Power cleans?
Hang squat clean.
Hang squat cleans. What was the weight?
95-65.
My first thought is that that's not enough. 3-6-9, too easy. I probably would have challenged him to get to the 15. Did you do this workout ahead of time?
I did not, no. Most people did get to the 15s anyway, but okay, so yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Cody, are you keeping track of how many times I'm right when I say something? You're going to need another sheet of paper. Are you demonstrating right now?
Yes.
Stand up strong. 6 of those. And then 3 plate around the world. Around your head.
So think about this. Go ahead. I'm going to say go ahead. I'm talking to myself. Look, yes. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just something to consider. But one thing I noticed, you were getting out of breath.
Yeah.
And I did an Instagram story before this, and I was out of breath from talking. Yeah. So imagine getting out of breath. You're moving as well. We need to be aware of that. Did somebody just give us money? Michael C. I've learned so much as a coach the past few weeks, joining the weekly Zoom meeting and doing the week. Wow. Michael C is my new best friend. I'm considering getting rid of Fern and bringing Michael C on as my partner. I don't know if that's too premature. What do you think, Cody? He sounds like nicer. Fern's never given me $10.
That feels okay? All right, cool.
First of all, as you're all watching Christina coach, I think what we've noticed last week with Ryan and with you this week, presence and attitude, we don't even have to talk about, right? Like, it's through the roof. Your energy is high.
Hi, Larissa, how you doing?
You appear to be screaming, if I'm being honest. But you're not.
It's just so close to me.
I love that. Here's feedback. Way too spread out for this, right? Yes. They don't need any room. They should be in nice and tight. Because your energy is high, the closer you bring them in, the higher that energy feels. For something like this, let's make it a little fun. Like, partner up with someone, look across from them. You can turn this into a you go, I go. Like, I get that it's 3-6-6, but it's like, hey, one person grab the plate, do 3, the other person doing push-ups to down dog. Like, all sorts of ways to make this a little more energetic and just keeping it tight together. I think you're doing a fantastic job thus far with the timeline, but a minute here, a minute there really adds up. Cody, you put up a video recently of me coaching at Rife. CrossFit Rife has a similar, setup where there's bars on both sides. And one of the things Fern said about my coaching was I brought everybody to one side, even though plenty of space. The reason I do it is kind of what I'm seeing here. You're having to travel a lot. You're having to go back and forth until they get to the box, which is happening now. I still think there's an opportunity to keep them in close. I want to talk a little bit about this with you. You've got somebody else demonstrating. Why do you have someone else demonstrating?
Thank you. All 3 in one.
Because when I can do a handstand push-up negative, but when I do, I don't have enough control. And I wanted them to really see like a slow and controlled lower down as the standard.
I love it. I don't care where anyone is in their fitness journey, you're going to have a movement you struggle with. Fear factor for a lot of people is, well, I can't coach. I can't do this, this, and this. That's bullshit. You own it. You're like, hey, and I heard you say it, like, she's better at this. I don't know if it was a guy or girl.
A guy. That's okay. Yeah.
But you're like, he's better at this than me. Cool. Now, the only caveat to that, two caveats. One, as a coach, be working on that. And the second caveat to that is, and I don't know, my question to you is, did you confer with was it JT? I want to say his name?
JT, yes.
With him prematurely, like, hey, I'm going to have you demo.
Yes, I did.
Demonstration is not just you move well. Like, that's the easy part. A lot of demonstration is like, can you move poorly? demonstration works both ways. But here's something I want to point out, and this is the challenge of coaching. The more complex gymnastic movements, this happens because you have so much disparity from RX to scaling. Like, we lose people. This is a true challenge of coaching. Like, how do I keep Bob, this woman, these two that are chatting, engaged, giving them that understanding of like the value of this movement. What was that drill for?
So that was a kipping drill, and I purposefully put it in there because it was like everybody has the capacity to do it, and I think it's just nice to like touch on it for the advanced athletes, but in a way that everybody could participate.
I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
You have an athlete over there on the far right that's using only dumbbells and no barbell. What's going on there?
Correct. She has like a really wicked bad flare up of tennis elbow right now.
We tend to know our athletes. Like, how often do you coach this 10 a.m. class?
Every day.
You know your people.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is, like, from 11 a.m. to 10 a.m., you don't know what happened in their life.
Front squat, as a reminder, looks like this.
What'd she do well, Cody? Tell me.
So you guys are going to get set up.
Well, so far, I mean, she's literally demonstrating every single piece of the progression.
I'm not taking for granted you know what a front squat is. Every time you have a step in a progression, get in front and demonstrate. Right. At what point, Cody,
go ahead and squat down and hold.
Do we change this for Bob? But, when do we give him towels to hold on to? When do we allow him to squat with the I Dream of Genie? When does he get dumbbells?
For me, what I look for is the bar on his body?
So I like that versus being supported by his wrist.
Correct. So he is able to get the bar on his body, even though his elbows aren't ideal. To me, that's why I think it's okay.
Okay, I don't disagree. Now, I think we've kind of unraveled another issue with this setup. You are now kind of trapped in the front of this room. But right now, you don't even have a perimeter because the boxes are there. Because I'd be anxious to see as we go through this progression,
we're probably going to, some of us, reset
how much you wind up going through the middle of the class. What'd you tell them to do for loading for the warm-up?
3 sets of 5, and you should be at your workout weight by set 2.
Right. Well,
and then a third set at the workout weight?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Hips back more when you.
And now that I know more about it, it was this woman and then the woman that was over here who were kind of standing around because they have an injury or they're dealing with something. Like, it's a challenge. When someone's hurt or someone just isn't going to load up, it's like, how do I keep them engaged knowing they're going to go a 15-pound dumbbell or they're going to and that might be like, hey, every minute give me 10, every 30 seconds give me X. Because otherwise, from an owner perspective, those are the people that, okay, I'm not gonna come tomorrow because it's this workout.
If you want to do that, I would change the reps.
Oh,
maybe
it's like
your
eavesdropping.
Workout becomes the 3, 4, 5 option.
I couldn't see his movement there in the corner. Why'd you do that?
He chose variation of the handstand push-up that was inverted, which is something he's never done. But even just watching him do one, it was like, all right, that's really hard for him. But I wanted to encourage him to do it.
The goal of scaling is not, Nikki Sharp gave you a shout out. It's not just preserving the stimulus, because he didn't need you to change the movement. He's already changed the movement. We're preserving the stimulus of the handstand push-up. It's also, am I advancing this guy?
My little advice to you for strategy: break up the handstand push-ups. Choose rest before rest chooses you.
Good. Okay,
have a plan, stick to it, hit the hang squat cleans hard.
Throughout class, because you told them to break up the handstand push-ups, a little more clarity on hey, if your best set is X, maybe because otherwise you're gonna have someone whose best set is 9. They're going to smoke themselves on the round of probably 6, if not 9 for sure. Right. Yeah. So hey, if your best set is 9, I never want you doing more than 4 in a row.
There we go. Good work.
Okay, cool. And really what we're looking for here during the workout, this isn't where you're going to get the most coaching. And it's going to be a lot of verbal cues. It's going to be a lot of good cheerleading, especially in minutes 7, 8. When people are starting to, it was like Ryan had handstand push-ups last week. When people are failing at handstand push-ups, now is not the time to be come on, you can go. I'm just looking what's the energy like? What are you coaching still? Are you still getting in front of people? And thus far you are.
What's going on? Okay. So when you get to
What'd she say to you? Do you remember?
take weight off?
So she's been battling something with her back, and so I noticed I get sucked into her until like the end of the workout, but she was like getting emotional. So I changed her really quick. We took weight off the bar, and she just did like a muscle clean with like no impact. And then I looked up and I was like, crap, there was only 1 minute left of the workout.
Probably the right call. Like,
now what you're gonna
we all have emotional breakdowns at time doing CrossFit. If that felt like the right thing for you to be doing at the time, it probably was.
Once you're settled in that child's pose, walk those hands gently over to one side.
I think I might have been a little fast to drop them down into child's pose.
Okay. At our gym, it's like once they clean up, they're like out the door.
That's a good point. I take that as an answer. Everybody watching, give us a YouTube like. Please make me feel good about myself. And then also subscribe to the channel. We're doing this every week for you guys. And again, I want to go back and give Christina a shout out. Balls on Christina, full class, great audio, all that good stuff. We couldn't do it without people like you, Christina. 90% of the feedback's going to be, I just want to see a little more seeing and correcting. So challenge to you going forward, set up the class. Think about every class you coach. How am I going to set it up to get more cues? And then I would challenge you specifically through different portions of the class to use only visual or only tactile. For you, because you said, it's been a while, tactile cues. What's your Instagram handle?
Coach Christina Anderson.
There's an underscore in there.
Yeah, I think it's Coach_Christina Anderson.
Cool. Find Christina on there. Slide into her DMs, people. Slide into those DMs. Awesome job. Awesome job. I think you did great. If you improve on those little things, I'd love to see it again. And we'll get you ready for March.